It's been blowing like crazy. The hill over there has almost disappeared in the haze. That's all dust. Wind is dropping down now. It's just about sunset. It was blowing really hard earlier. There's the sun going into the dust. I'll get this. I had planned on standing on that when I was taking my cowboy shower, but the wind was blowing so hard on this side, I moved back around anyway, so you can kind of see that's how fast it dries out here though. That's, well, between that and that is about half a gallon of water. And it's just gonna be soaked into nothing in no time. So again, for the moment, got the big inverter running, and it is charging. Follow the yellow cord. Cord is a perfect length there. So there's a little battery jump starter that also has USB output. Is it too dark in here? Yeah, it'll be okay. I'm charging up the phone, charging up one of the camera batteries, and then also running this charger, which is charging one of my modified lights. This one's got an 18650 in it. Oh man, welcome to the new studio. Woo! Go away. So I'm almost clean on the top half, we'll say that. Heated up a little bit of water on the stove and used a wash rag and poured some of it on me and soaped up a little bit. And so my arms are a lot cleaner than they were. My hands are almost clean, and the upper half is not too bad. By about halfway through today, I had thought about leaving some of the seats in, at least a couple of them, but I didn't feel like looking to see which was the good seat, and then when I found a good seat, it would be in the wrong spot probably anyway, and I decided just to take them all out. My plan tomorrow is to set up the generator, have it start charging all my big batteries, and I'll probably put it on the bus battery for a while too to make sure it's topped off. I still think my original idea is probably the best. Kind of divide the bus into thirds. So probably from the wheel arch back will be the shop. I'm realizing how dusty it really is out here. I guess the last times I was out here, I was in a tent or the back of the truck. And while it was dusty, I was outside, so I kind of assumed, that made sense. Now that I'm inside in the bus, I had a couple windows open on each side, and the dust just poured in here. Everything is just covered in dust. There was a plate that had been sitting out for maybe an hour, and it was just filthy. So I have a little more appreciation for what they went through out in the pioneer days or something like that, when they were, crossing in wagon trails and then trying to get set up on a homestead in a place like this, because there would be dust in everything. There's no way you could ever keep it clean. There was no clouds at all day. Now I see clouds coming in again. I don't know if I have no idea what the weather forecast is here. Didn't even think about it. Now that I got the seats done, though, I'm not as affected by the weather, because if I need to, I can sit inside. I've got so much dirt in my ears too. Sure feels good to get the seats done though. Tomorrow I'm going to plan on moving to the other spot, and I haven't quite decided which one of the other ones I'm going to use yet. Good morning, world. It's out there somewhere. There it is. Reheating some more coffee. I came out here with these two little thermoses. And then that guy. So I'm going to warm up a little bit extra and drop it in one of the little thermoses and see how long it lasts. It's not overly impressive, but anyway. So I'll do some coffee, make some oatmeal. I think today's the day I'm going to move the bus. This is Wednesday, I think. Should probably check that. Woke up about 3:30 this morning. Just cold. Oh man, it was cold. Wind was blowing from the opposite direction. Yeah, Wednesday, April 5th. And it's 7:29 local time. I fired up my propane heater. These guys are awesome. Mr. Heater Buddy. I used it the last time I was out here when I was tent camping. Set it out in front of the tent and take the chill off a little bit. So between about 3:30 and about 6 it was still running, and then it burned out after that. I was running it above the low settings, so I think low it would run most of the night. But anyway, you're definitely hot. But it's so. Yeah, I decided for now, no sense sitting out in the wind if I can sit inside now that I have a little bit of room. That was the thing before, is didn't have the room to sit outside. Oh, how about that? So, off. Okay. Breakfast served. There we go. Perfect. It was cold. Night before wasn't so bad, so I think I slept in my, I think I just had shorts on and that was it. And last night I could tell with the wind blowing it was going to get colder, and then the wind changed directions. I think it's going the opposite way now. And now it's back again. No, it's going that way. Yesterday it was going this way, now it's coming up the valley. No clouds again though. It had clouded up last night, but came back and you can't see it from here, but the emergency exit on this side, on the front, that's the one that I broke a couple days ago, and it had a pretty good air gap and the wind was just whistling through there. So I took a sock and a t-shirt and jammed it up in the holes, closed off most of it. So I don't know. It's gonna be hard to heat a bus like this because the windows, even when they're closed, they all have gaps in them. So I think wintertime, I'll probably use some of that clear film. It'll give you a better seal. Sit for a little longer. Oh yeah, that feels good. Yeah, glad yesterday is done. Getting the seats out, that was a big deal. One of those jobs that would be pretty easy with two people. Because, even if you're on the bottom, it's it's not too bad. You just get down there, and all the bolts are right down the middle aisle. So here and here, so you just get down there and crawl your way back, and then hit the axle and walk around and pick up the other ones. It wouldn't be so bad. But with one person, you get up there, and probably at least a third of the bolts came out without having to even hold the nut. So those nuts have kind of serration on the face. So when they're tightened up, they jam, and it works almost like how a lock washer would dig into the metal a little bit. And there was some undercoating down there, and so the nuts would jam up and stay there. And so a lot of them, if you hit them from the top with the impact driver, the bolt would come all the way out and the nut would still be stuck to the floor. And so you go underneath and the nut would still be there and you could just pop it off real quick and get on to the next one. So those were the fun ones. And then if that didn't work, then I put the vice grips on the top usually and then go underneath. And then I could take them off. But some of them were kind of in a bad angle, up underneath a lip or something like that. So you'd have to, a few of them I put the vice grips on the bottom, then came back up on the top and turned them out. And then sometimes the vice grips would fall off. And, there was a few of them you'd do 2 or 3 times back and forth trying to get it. That's when you start looking at the grinder and thinking, yeah, it's time for that. So, but I was finding that there was enough of the easy ones that I'm glad I didn't use the grinder on all of them because that would have been a waste, Well, for 2 reasons. One, I got a whole bunch of reusable bolts now that I could use for something else, and so that was worth doing for that, just to save the bolts. And I think grinding is pretty quick, but the ones that came out easy were quicker. So, if I was in a situation where I just couldn't get under the bus or something like that, grinding would be the way to go. Or if you had 2 people, then a couple of ratchets and that's pretty quick. A little electric cordless impact, that worked really well. There was only a couple of bolts I couldn't get to come loose, and that's the small one. If you had a bigger one, it'd be no problem at all. Still warm, gotta love that. Okay, let's recap. That is way too much backlighting. Whatever. Gotta work on set design here a little bit. Okay, generator does work. Seems to work well. Started on the 3rd pull. The first one was kind of a practice pull. So, considering it was completely empty, that's pretty good. Apparently, I don't know, they probably started them in the factory, but there was no fuel, no oil in it, so a little bit of smoke on start, and then it burned off probably the preservative oil inside, and seemed fine. It's kind of loud, but you know, you got a motor running right next to you. So walking away from it a few feet, it didn't seem too bad at all. I don't at all feel bad for my neighbors, you know, them being a quarter of a mile away kind of thing. I mean, they can probably hear it, but it's not that big of a deal. I think when I build some structures, I'll make a little windbreak to put the generator on the other side of and give it a roof, and then I won't hear it so much, and then it'll still have airflow. So seats. Okay. Figure there is, what did I come up with? 9, 10. Okay, there's 12, so there's 24 seats. I got the first one skinned down. This is kind of funny. They've the seats have 2 skins, so when they got tore up, they just pulled new skins over them. They don't take the old skins off, which is interesting. So that means I got twice as much of this lovely brown fabric here than, you know, same color. The original skins have black piping on the edge, and the new ones are just plain. Seats are metal frame, which I pretty much knew that, but they also got a metal skin on the back. I was thinking that was going to be wood, so that's good for me because I like metal. So I've got, you know, 24 sheets of I don't know, 2 foot by 1.5 foot, something like that, thin gauge sheet metal. The cutoff wheel cuts well, but I'm breaking wheels, partially because I haven't used one for a while, and so I'm not getting a good feed rate. And I was trying to figure out where exactly I want to cut so I get the most material out of it, and I've come to the decision that since I don't know what I'm going to make out of them, I don't know where to cut. So I'm probably going to stop on that. Okay, I think my next plan then, I'm going to go for a walk and look at those areas again and make a plan. And then I'll get the bus ready to move, which will mean unstack everything and lay it all flat, so it doesn't tip over on me. Okay, we're moving between the original campsite and hopefully what will be the next semi-long-term campsite. Theory. I know we're not going to hide the bus, but we can at least make it harder to find. And everything you hear falling is falling. Most of the soil I've walked on is pretty solid. So, I rode my motorcycle in parts of this, and then I free walked the rest about 3 or 4 times. I will see if we can follow the same tracks. See the motorcycle? Everything's falling down here. The only place I didn't really pick up was right around the driver's seat. Missed my spot already. Backing up. That does look pretty good. The old saying is, determination is what you feel just before you do something really stupid. This has only got to work once. Gauge. This could totally be a thing. I'm going to stop and check for damage. How crazy was that? Oh, that was fun. Okay. Actually not horribly off where I'm at. I'm going to back up and get out of some stickers. What's behind me does not concern me. Check that out. Trying to keep it so I can get out my doors. You know what? That'll work. I'll take the shovel to some stickers, but otherwise we're good. Our track comes in and then between these trees and then turn. The important parts of the bus are up so high. Even anything I hit was going right underneath it, so. I like this because I got a little bit of bare ground around me. So I can see things that are getting close to me or whatever. Well, I feel bad. I killed the cactus. Just trying to get around that one. Oh well, maybe somebody will eat it. Yeah, I was really trying to miss that cactus. That one hit it with both duels. Ah well. Kinda gotta keep your eyes open here. You never know what you're gonna find. Cactus is blooming. Of course, because it is a cactus, you can't really get in there too close. Yeah, I wasted another gallon of water getting clean. Feels good though. Here we are in the new campsite, further from the main road. Yeah, I think that's going to be one of my first projects, though, is to build a good outdoor shower. That'll be good. Other big thing for today, aside from moving the bus, was getting all the seats moved out. Right now they're all stacked up underneath the bus on both sides. So today's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Friday is payday. And Monday I have to be back at work. What I'm thinking is probably head out Friday. Figure it's a 10-hour drive. Actually, I don't know if I've ever done a 500-mile day before. We packed light. Be nice to be able to leave everything here. That'll be cool. What's the breeze? Yesterday I was gung-ho on putting up a windmill, and then today the wind didn't blow. Go figure. It'll come back. That's the thing, you need probably enough battery capacity for 3 or 4 days. And, so you decide which is cheaper. I can run that generator for an hour on a gallon, so that's $2. And the generator's already paid for it, $200. If I spend a few $100s on solar, I still need batteries. Either way, I need batteries. So you get batteries first, then you either use the generator to fill up the battery so you don't have to run the generator continuously, or you run solar, or solar and wind. At one time I was going to skip the generator and just use the bus, start it up to charge the batteries, but